Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to our second ever Beige Carpet Afterparty Livestream Review Live Edition. And I'm super excited to have you all here. I'm super excited to have all of our guests here. You can see their names above my my head there in the space there. And I'm super excited to have people here who are ready to talk positively about the game. Now, I know that not everything that's going on in the game lately has been positive, but I'd like to try and keep it positive here. You know, it seemed like the live stream chat during the official live stream was a little negative. People talking about like end of service and where's the content and stuff like that. And I think that all that stuff is really, really important. You know, I think that you guys we're saying some really important, relevant things, but I'd like to just like keep it positive here, if we could, possibly. You know, and I'm going to try and keep it positive myself. I'm going to try and have some fun with you guys, and I'm going to let our guests say hello. We've got some regulars, and we've actually got somebody who was in the very first original Beige Carpet Afterparty live stream review, the very first one, and that is Clad in Darkness. Now, some of us may know Clad in Darkness by another name. A lot of us just call him Golbez. And so I'm going to let everybody say hello. We're going to start, though, with the OG, Clad in Darkness. Say hello.
Hey, everybody. It's great to be back, you know. I've always wanted to be back, you know, and support my love for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius.
There you go.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for asking, and I'm glad that your schedule worked out, that you could be here. So I'm glad to have you. And returning guests, we've got Sketch. Hello, sir.
Hello. Hope everybody is having at least a decent time. The stream was something, but we're gonna have a fun time on Beige regardless.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have fun here, regardless of what we just saw. Marty says I'm a great guy, and I know he's respectful. Yeah, I know it's not their fault. They're handed a script. Let's be real about that. And they're just going with what they got. So you're absolutely right. And by the way, I'm doing my best. I've got chat right in front of my face. I am gonna try and address your questions. If you've got questions, if you've got comments, feel free to throw them out there. We will do our best to answer them. And I'm sorry I just interrupted our interview our hello process. Yin to Yang, please say hello and tell me to stop talking.
Hello, but that's the whole point of this. We're unscripted, so you never know what's going to come next.
We are, and I'm excited, and I want to address chat questions. So please throw them out there, and we've got some fun stuff we're going to talk about. We're going to go through the slides and give our feedback as usual, and we're going to have some fun. We might even get off topic a little bit, as tends to happen when you get, you know, a group of gamers talking about gaming together. So sit back. Hopefully you're ready to enjoy the ride, and have some fun with it. So let's dive right in. They dove right in, and they started with us talking about how they've been spending some time lately. They talked about cherry blossom viewing, and I think that that's really cute. So what are they did ask in the live stream, what are some things like locally that people maybe do in their area like this time of year? What are some things that you guys would do like that are like seasonal and culturally appropriate and stuff like that in your area? Like, what's special to you guys?
Let's see, what's special to me is watching the corn grow or the soybeans grow.
Yes.
I live in a country area, so a lot of farmlands.
Corn and soybeans, absolutely. That's a lot of what I got going on here too. Yeah, definitely corn and soybeans. But like, I've been going down to the river and like I've been taking walks and bike rides down by the river, yeah, it's been great. How close is chat to my face? Let's see. 1 hand, 2 hand, 3 hand, 4 hands. It's 4 hands away from my face. Good question, Lorraine. What about you, Sketch? What have you been doing lately in your life? What's been going on with you?
The person that I am seeing is on spring break.
Ooh.
So yeah, so she's been down, like we're doing like beach stuff, whatever. Like it's spring break for a lot of people in college right now. So like it's pretty nice like going out there. We went out of our way to go out of town to a different beach though, because this one is crowded out of its mind. And not like overly big on the 200 people at the beach type scenario. So that was cool. But mostly this time of year it's just like spring break stuff. So like normally like super busy with work and not as much fun as I would like. But it was nice to have a weekend where I was like able to do stuff.
Good deal. And Yin to Yang?
Right now, I'm just hoping the Canadian weather gets a little less confusing as the month goes down.
Yes.
We've been going from snow to rain to sun to cold to snow to rain and back again.
Sounds like you live where I live. Man, that sounds rough.
Yeah, same here. It's like my state is bipolar too.
But on the good days, I've been taking my dog out for long walks in downtown Ottawa, and also try and go get a beaver tail once in a while.
Is now a beaver tail is a food item? Is that correct?
Yes, and it is not literal.
Yes. Okay.
It's a pastry.
It's a pastry. Perfect. We just wanted to make sure. And also, the Brotherhood is having a birthday, so happy birthday to you, the Brotherhood.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Yeah. Now, I think that this is all fun, right? So, like, talking about, like, how they've been spending some time, like, doing cultural activities and stuff like that, I think that is really cool. But I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, that I feel like maybe it was ill-placed. I think that as wild as stuff has been in the game lately, as far as like how they've communicated, how content's been delivered, how the game has been doing, like I feel like them saying we've been going cherry blossom viewing is just out of place. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, it is. It's not the direction I would have went when they know how the community feels about certain things at the moment. I understand that, and we'll talk about this more later. I understand it's not very likely that we talk about game-related stuff without Hiroki there.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like stuff like this, when you know what, very aware of some things that are going on, this is not the direction I would personally take. However, I don't think it's like as bad as other things that they did later on in the stream. I think stuff like this.
Yeah. I definitely see some comments here. They could have put it in the community chat. Yes, thank you, Huxley. I think that would have been good. I think that there's definitely a place for it, because I think stuff like this is important. I think culture and community is great, but I just feel like our culture of our game is also important, and I just feel like it was like nothing being addressed. So okay.
Yeah, it's like what Num 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 is saying, how they want to get friendly and personable, like the atmosphere, the live stream aim to be that, but at the same time with it being attached to like our updates, our game updates, our news updates.
Keep it focused on the game. Would probably be for the best, given the issues that we're having. And also, I want to just be blunt and say right there that I know that the people who are in that picture doing cherry blossom viewing, they are not creating the content. They are not developing the game. They are not programming things. I understand that they're not. I'm not suggesting that they're like wasting their time and not using resources to fix the game. That is not at all what I'm suggesting. It's more that just like in this moment where we need communication, that to me this feels out of place. So
yeah, exactly.
That's my 2
in
cents.
In my opinion, I think they should have waited till the end of the live stream, to talk about chat with the community and all that, not put it at the beginning of the live stream,
Yeah. Okay, though. So without further ado, let's do exactly what we say we should be doing, which is talking about the game. And we got our first look at a brand new, quote unquote, unit, Winged Officer Celeste. Sketch, you seemed pretty excited about the unit when we were talking about this prior to getting started. What are you excited about this unit? What can you tell me?
Okay, so you guys hear me talk about unit sprites a lot. It's like one of my favorite parts of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a really popular anime called Akame to Kill. And this looks like one of the most popular characters in anime named SF. It is not a one-to-one. Before chat says anything, it is not a one-to-one, but it is a lot like SF. And that is so cool to me. And I think that's such a cool a selling point, because a lot of people that like waifu characters watch anime. That anime is extremely popular. So like I think this, at least on the sprite level, this is like one of the best in the game. Like this is like Lauren is my favorite character in the game. The Brave Shift sprite on this unit is probably like it's easily top 3, right? Because like I have a connection to this design, right? Because I really like the character.
Okay, so real quick, Sketch. Huxley, what Sketch said is that she looks very, very similar to a character from an anime called A Comedy to Kill. Is that what you said?
Akame, gotcha.
Okay, yes. So that's what he's just saying. She looks very similar to that. Now, I agree. I think the sprite looks phenomenal. I think both forms look really phenomenal. I love the like dark clouds and the like purple hair on the shift form versus the white clouds and the blue hair on the base form. I think looks fantastic. I can't wait to see the animations and stuff.
Oh yeah, same here. She looks incredible.
Yeah, visually very just stunning. Just really cool. Says here, perfect or powerful physical attacker, also has the buffing tag in the base form. Specializes in light element and lightning element attacks. Can activate area effect that increases light and lightning element damage for all allies. It says physical and magical 50% and light physical and magic 70% for 5 turns. So it's a double field, just smaller numbers for lightning, which I think is still pretty cool. And can self-buff and allies inside and outside of morale-based content. So, pretty cool. All in all, so far, are we feeling good about this unit or not good about this unit?
Well, it's definitely nice to see that she has an extra element within her field. Her, because I was under the impression that we were getting a light unit, which he very much is. He was just going to be kind of similar to Ong and being almost a 1-for-1 on like a Esper of Destruction that we're missing.
Yeah. Let's take another closer look. Here's some abilities. So she's getting an ability called Coordinated Teamwork, which is a 400% all stats buff and 300% LB damage buff for all allies for 5 turns that cannot be dispelled. This is super cool, I think, that it cannot be dispelled. Also has powerful ability High Tech Blaster, usable in morale content only. A 150% light amp for herself that can also not be dispelled. So, why does this matter, Sketch?
Okay, so a couple of really huge things here. One, MV Plus units don't have 150% amps.
Yes.
That is going to probably, like they said, she is a very high damage dealer. She's probably going to be number 1 by a lot. Like, there's not a single one that has 150% amp. This is absolutely huge. Also, something that's like worth noting: the top ability does not say Clash Wheels only.
Correct. That's one where they said that she's going to be able to buff allies both inside and outside of Clash of Wills and morale content. That's what they're talking about most likely. I think it's great. I think they sound like good things. Now, the argument could be like she's only got her amp inside Clash of Wills, but you know,
until we see the kit, we can't really do more than speculate.
Because didn't Xyrus have some amps that were kind of smaller too? Like, didn't he have like a 50 or a 60 or something like that?
I can check for you.
Yeah, check that out while I'm sitting here.
The thing with this kit, and it was mentioned in the chat, is like, I wish the field was an Imperial field instead of an amp field. I know why it's not, because of the unit coming later. That their entire job is just to be an Imperial, like a massive Imperial field.
Yeah.
But it is a bigger amp than Murray, which kind of sucks. But I think her and Murray are going to work very good together, because one of the issues with Murray is her kit is a little clunky because she has so many different things to keep up.
Yes.
If she doesn't have to keep up the field, her rotation is way better on things you want to keep up to the party, like the evasion and stuff like that. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. Looking at Xyrus.
Yeah, so Mireille, without having a focus on the field, with Celeste covering that, she can focus more on her support aspect and her DPS aspect.
Yeah.
More.
On Xyrus, he has a 50% normally, and he has 100% only in Clash of Wills. It's a major gap. Like,
it
now,
is.
What we need to see is if the unit is balanced around having the 150% amp, or if this is going to be getting ready for us for Anniversary, which is coming up like in a couple months, right? And we're finally getting to, hey, we're at MV Plus. Let's make MV Plus level like OP morale units. So you want to pull for these for Clash of Wills, right? This is super easily just be like, hey, we finally hit power creep in Clash of Wills, like we started doing with like when Last Woman came out. So I have like super high hopes.
Yeah, me too. You know, I feel like she's going to be really solid, and she's physical too, so she's going to be used for a long time, I'm sure.
Yeah. Sart, you're asking a great question there. You're wondering if she'll actually come with light and lightning tags, or just be stuck with light only. So what do you guys think? Is she going to be the first global unit to have 2 elemental tags?
Would like to hope he does, but I definitely would be more inclined to believe he'll be primarily light only.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you might
probably
get some of the. You might get some of the unique tags, like Elite Warrior.
Oh yeah, or Guardian or something like that, because they talked about her being like a commander and like being able to like lead people. So yeah, maybe.
I hope she's Rebellion too.
Rebellion,
that's a good point.
I doubt that, because she sounds like she's part of like an organized military force, and Rebellion probably would not stack with that. But we could be wrong. Either way, here's her featured abilities that they showed us. So Dazzling Neon, reduce lightning and light resistance for all enemies, boost lightning and light resistance for the party, for the caster rather, and fill LB gauge and fill morale gauge and activate the area effect. So there's her area effect skill. So her area effect, her amp skill has the Imperil on it. Now they did say it's only like 120 for both lightning and light, so it's not huge, but it is nice to see the amp has an additional effect. It's not just the area effect, it's these other things too. So it's, you know, nice to kind of spam in there. They also showed us the Bright Future skill. Removes some status effects and adds light to physical attacks. Boost. This is just like a rolling amp for light. And Tony did give us the numbers on that. You know, he said it's just, you know, the typical rolling amp. So now we've seen, you know, what they wanted us to see about her, and then they showed us her leader skill. So, how do we feel about the leader skill? Attack and magic 750, defense and spirit 200, for Clash of Wills and Light category, or 1,000 and 750 respectively in Clash of Wills.
I personally think we're not going to be using her leader skill for Clash because we have better ones right now.
Yeah, there's definitely better ones in Clash, and not only that, but it's like it's only Clash and Light. It's not like Clash of Wills Light. It's just Clash and Light.
So I
play
think
Light
the opposite,
and
right?
Clash.
Sorry, Yin and Yang.
All right, I'll go. So, personally, I'm fine with it just being the general Clash and general Light category because it's at least more of a bigger pool of units to choose from. Whereas if it was Clash Light, then it would be extremely limited in our choices.
Yeah. Now, at least, though, it is generic Clash of Wills, so it does cover, like, everybody in Clash of Wills. And in that sense, she doesn't really need Clash and Clash Light. But it's just kind of weird. I think it's a little strange.
So, the thing about this leader skill, it's like, this is a good time to bring up, like, the other point about the unit I wanted to make. I think this leader skill is really good. So, alright, so it's a generic 1,000 for Clash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're not... So, do you remember verbatim what Ains was?
It's 1,000... No. It's 1,000 in Clash for Water and Clash of Wills units. Isn't it?
Right. So, like, assuming that's correct, which I think you're right? Assuming that's correct, I see nothing wrong with this leader skill, and the reason for that is because you can bring whoever you want, right? So, if you... I'm gonna go out and say it that, like, she has two... First of all, she has two fields, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a, like, reality where she makes it onto your Thunder team just because she's a fielder that actually deals damage and contributes to the party. Right?
Yeah.
As a secondary thing. So if you think about it that way, she does two elements. Is she going to be the highest damage person on your Thunder team? No. But is she going to weigh out it with how important fields are for higher end Clash of Wills fights? Like, her being able to probably, like, we need to check, right? But they did say she's a high end damage healer. Her having a leader skill that covers all of that. Because, like, as far as I know, we don't have 1,000 lightning leader skill, right? Unless they made lightnings. I mean, Lightning's 1,000?
Even in Clash, Lightning's is only 750.
So, like, basically, like, yeah, 1,000 in Clash was more than enough to see, so like, that's fine. But the important reason why they did this is because they wanted Stern to be part of the leader skill, right? Because Stern doesn't have the Clash of Wills tag,
right?
Which, like, is the other thing that, like, I feel like is super important about this. Stern is very good. Okay, like, I'm just gonna say that, and then, like, Jack can react however they want. Stern is very good. If you look at, like, Sinzar's calculations on how much damage Stern does, we are getting Stern for free. Okay? I just want to throw that out there. You don't have to pull. If you're free to play or lower in a calculator, you don't have to pull. The biggest issue that Stern had is because Stern only had one other good light unit to use in Clash of Wills, and it was Murray. Right? Stern now has a leader skill for him in Clash of Wills. Stern now has a light partner in Clash of Wills that is going to buff his damage, and Stern deals around the same damage as last light. It is a very big deal for a unit that we get for free. You do not have to buy the passes, you do not have to get any extra stuff, you can sit on it. And even if you get the EX2, right, you can use him in Clash of Wills, right? So, like, you might not get EX2 immediately if you don't want to spend anything, right? But you have the option, or you could just, you know, wait for the 50 shards or whatever, get him up and go. But this is such a big deal to play for Stern because he has a unit to go with, and Stern is a good unit. So, like, this is really cool that they. I had a feeling it was going to be a light unit after we got Stern to just be weird. Can we get new Stern without pulling him?
Yes.
Yes, but you have to. You have to either buy the pass,
spend a little bit, or put him in the dungeon, or whatever.
You have to either we get Stern for free, and we get Stern 50 shards towards EX2 for free. So you'll need another 50. You can buy the other 50. You can wait to see if he ends up in VIP, which he may or may not. I don't remember if Gladio did or not.
Gladio did.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, if Gladio did, then
did.
he might. Or you could just spend, I think it's like $6, maybe $7.
It's $7
and get him
US,
the EX2. Yeah, $7 and get him the EX2. It is such a good deal for how strong Stern is. You can throw Stern, like there's a lot of options. It's not expensive. You can like even if you were a light spender, let's say you wanted to spend like $30, which like in the grand scheme of things is not a ton, right? If you wanted to spend $30, that's like EX3 Stern.
Yep.
That's an EX3. You're gonna immediately get his MB plus ability because you're gonna MB plus him. He's gonna be able to carry you, in Clash of Wills on light fights because of how much damage he does. Does he deal less damage than Zyrus? Yes. Does he deal more than enough damage to be your main carry unit in light fights? Yes, because he's near the top. He's near the top of the DPS level.
Yeah.
So like, it's really cool that we have a unit that goes with him. They're close by together. It does help sell her, which is cool because I think people are gonna like her anyway. Because a lot of people just collect waifu sprites, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Right. So like, let's make the unit good. She has a support kit, which is one of the biggest complaints that we have is we don't like full DPS kits, but she has the meta level 70% field. Right. We got to the 70% level. She has a good leader skill. She may have more support things in her kit. There may be killers and stuff. We don't know. We didn't know about Aang's until we got Aang's information.
And Aang's were super good. Yep.
She has the undispellable buff, which I don't know about anybody else. I put such a major percentage on me because, like, I don't want to be in a fight and get myself dispelled and just die, especially if it's a long fight.
Yeah.
So, like, that's really cool. So I think there's a lot of really cool things going on in this unit. But I just wanted to touch on Stern because I saw a lot of people in the community like, oh, I just don't think this is that big a deal. And like, I think he was good before, but I think this existing is what he needed to make him good. Yeah. And I also think because of it looks like they're releasing her 4th Stern, that I'm going to make a cold shot that her LB is going to be AT frames to match Stern.
That would not be a bad thing. Just really quick, want to throw out. So there is some chatter going on about Lightning's leader skill. Yes, I forgot that she did get upgraded because I haven't had a chance to take her. Her Clash of Wills leader skill did get updated.
Is it 900?
It's 1,000.
Oh, it is 1,000. Okay,
yeah.
So it does exist. So
but
that's cool.
But for not, her categories that she buffs are fairly limited. But they are there. So
yeah, I can check real quick. So Ong his leader skill outside of Clash is only 500.
Only
so
500, yeah.
Yep. So Celeste is better. However, Lightning leader skill covers Rebellion, Clash Lightning, and Clash Wind, and Clash or units.
Yeah.
So he's primarily the Rebellion leader.
Let's move on. I think this is exciting. STMR and TMR. STMR is a boost damage limit for various chains by 100, and boost physical and magic damage against beasts and machines by 100. I think that's really cool. I love chain cap that actually has something on it. So
it's a good STMR. It's basically the same as A2 Neovisions. They only traded off the 100% double hand for the 100 chain.
But this is in the game permanently. So,
exactly.
I think this is really good.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
this is way better than the double hand.
Oh yeah, it's a good STMR for sure. It's worth picking up 6 copies at least,
I'd say at least 4 if you could, but it depends on how many copies of it depends on how many copies of chain cap you have. But yeah, it's fantastic. Like I would say, at least 3 or 4. Over time, you don't have to rush to get them all this week, but yeah.
Oh yeah, because the killers too, 2 100% killers. And the chain cap, that's pretty useful,
Very useful.
For this Clash boss.
The sword is a little bit, less exciting. It's just a 200 attack, 2-handed sword that gives her bonus stats, but also LB damage by 100%, which makes me think that her LB damage is not going to be maxed unless you equip her sword.
Yeah, easily.
You're going to have to gear for it,
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, her sword is this is becoming more common with our Lex unit.
Mm-hmm.
That the DMR is the weapon more often now, and that the weapon is really just personalized to the unit. There's not much point in getting a second copy of the weapon for, say, another unit.
Right.
Yeah.
So, kind of whatever. But I think these are great though, in general.
One thing that's worth mentioning about that TMR is it gives 600 and not 500.
Mm-hmm.
So like it actually reads as 225 attack basically.
Yeah.
Because you'll be getting like the 400% double hit basically, like if it was 225. So like before anybody like just like it's like that has really low attack.
Yeah. Good point.
It actually
but it's only
levels
for her,
like really well.
Now, Sart asks a great question. Is it a great sword or just a sword? I feel like in the puzzles and game section, they talked about her using a large sword. So I assume it's a great sword. But I could be wrong.
It's supposed to be a great sword.
Yeah. We could be wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes
sword.
things look like spears, but are actually fists. So you never know. You never know.
Oh, Vaughn.
Yep. And lots of other people. Like so, the one of the Dragon Quest die has it's a fist, but it looks like a sword. It's called a sword fist of something. I can't remember. Yeah, lots of goofy stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Here's her EX ability. Boost attack by 500 for Clash of Wills category units only. Huxley says it's an instrument. Yeah, it's totally an instrument of destruction. So yes, attack 500 for Clash of Wills category units. Now here's the issue with this. We don't have any other Clash of Wills category NV pluses, correct? Except for Xyrus, and he wants magic, not attack. Is that correct?
Yep.
Checking. I am checking.
Because they didn't give like Clash of Wills tags to Tifa or Laswell or anything like that.
No Laswell, no Tifa yet, so
right.
I think it's just Xyrus and
Xyrus
right now.
And Celeste. So I do think this is good. This is fine, but it's also for right now stuck to just looking at Celeste. So.
Yeah, like it makes sense that the first one's the generic one,
yeah,
right?
It's going to take some time to kind of build up to it. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, but if the Xeno Gears gets the Clash buffs, then maybe they can use it too.
Mm-hmm. And Nami Nom Nom says, future MVA plus units like Flaring Ether Rain. Rain does have the Clash of Wills category, so it is a thing. So I think this is good to pick up if you care about Clash of Wills. If you want to pull units that are going to be NVAs or NV pluses that are Clash of Wills category, I think this is fine, especially if they're all attackers.
Well, we get more of those NVA plus units soon, or Neovision plus.
I mean, I would guess we're probably going to be getting one a month. I mean, why would they go back to just doing generic Neovisions at this point? I could be wrong.
And the question is, are they going to do it for some of the Glex units?
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it. I doubt that the Glex units get upgraded to NV plus, but you never know. You're right. You know what? NV plus, Bulwark, and the Melodic mascots. You're welcome.
Oh yeah, that would be broken, right?
That would be so broken. Oh my gosh, Bulwark does so much damage, and super cute.
I'm down with this.
No, I'd rather
NVA
have
plus
NBA Navi.
Bulwark when.
Wait, I didn't hear you. You were talking at the same time. Who said what?
I apologize. I said NVA plus Napi.
Oh yes.
We need her. Yeah, she would
Napi,
bring
NV
meta
plus.
damage.
Yes, absolutely. Napi. Fantastic. Her vision card was mentioned, and I think that the art on this vision card is phenomenal. Super, super cool. And then also the stats on it for a non-premium unit, I'd say are pretty decent, all things considered. So it's got 140 attack, right? Just attack. But then it also does 50% HP in attack and LB damage 50%. Attack and defense 50%. And then attack and defense 50% more when you are equipped with a large sword. There's another hint that this is a unit wearing a large sword. And then level 10 is boost HP by 1,000 and attack by 500 for every FFBE unit.
It's really good.
I mean, it's not a paid card, right? So you can't compare it to paid cards, right? But I think that this is pretty cool.
You really can't.
Yeah, it's really cool, you know, decent power and whatnot. I think it's good for budget.
Mm-hmm. The vision card art scene is pretty nice. Would be good if we had a story event to expand on it even more. I agree completely. Yes.
So you're
Don't even get me started
here.
What'd you say, Sketch?
I said they're preaching to the choir here.
Oh,
Story events, like if you got a story event, like I would like lose my mind. We did ask for better vision cards though, and this is a lot better than like the average ones.
Oh, totally better than average vision cards. Yes.
Oh, a small victory there for us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe they're finally listening to us about the vision card situation.
Would be nice. So, before this is the last slide about Celeste specifically. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on before we move on to the next big category? Going once, going twice. Sold. Okay, cool. So, for those of you who don't hang out in the FFBE Help Discord, which a lot of people call Sinzar's Discord, but it is not Sinzar's Discord. It's just one where he spends some time hanging out. For a lot of people who hang out there, you know that like when the monthly bulletin comes out, there's usually a lot of chatter about us trying to guess like what is the boss going to be based on the type, descriptions, and the categories. Like is it weak to ice, lightning, light, you know, whatever. And so usually there's some like guesswork that we're like trying to decide, like one, what is the boss going to be, and two, what is the unit going to be. And usually, like, I don't know, I feel like it's easier to kind of guess what the unit is. In this case, like everybody was way off, but one person stands out as having guessed the exact combination of like monster characteristics, and not only the exact combination of monster characteristics, but actually went into the wiki and found the exact sprite of what this monster was, and that is Clad in Darkness Gaming. So I'm gonna pop this up here, and I'm gonna give him a second to tell us about how did you land on this.
Yeah, funny thing is, whenever we get a monthly bulletin, the weaknesses of the boss was machine, beast, and human.
Mm-hmm.
So I went through the game and looked through the monsters I beat and whatnot, and he went out to me, you know, like as a centaur, he's a beast, he's a machine, he's a human, and I just shot in the dark and I said, yeah, this is gonna be our Clash boss.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it's our Clash boss.
Especially, I think this has been especially prominent since they started kind of recycling unit sprites and kind of like tweaking them up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this was dead on what you said. You posted it in the Discord like, hey, this is the boss, and it was totally the boss. So
yeah, I was kidding, to be honest.
Yeah.
And funny thing is, I kind of guessed the last month's Clash boss too, the Hydra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that one was pretty on the nose, you know. But yeah. So I will say though that even though these are, this one is a recycled sprite as well, right? We've fought this enemy before. I do feel like it looks better than the last several months, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, they make it look nice and tougher and whatnot, but yeah, it looks really cool though.
Yeah. Good deal.
My heart ache.
Your heart aches? Tell us why your heart aches.
Because I feel sorry for whoever the artist was that was designing our original Clash boss sprites, and I hope wherever they are, they come back soon and make us some fresh, funky sprites.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't. I will say that I don't think it looks as good as some of the old ones, right? I think it looks good for what it is, but it's definitely not as good as some of the old sprites that we've gotten used to over time. But, you know, sprites are only so important unless your name is Sketch262. So here's what we know about the boss. It uses water and light physical
Marty,
attacks.
You're right.
What's that?
You're very right, Marty. Oh, Marty is saying how we haven't gotten the April Fool's chicken dragon.
Oh, it's so true. So true. Boss uses water and light physical attacks and non-elemental magic, inflicts paralysis on all enemies, uses Mirage, which is exciting, use a limit burst at the right time to prevent a counterattack, and they recommend that you bring units such as Winged Officer Celeste and Sophie that have abilities that are effective against the boss. Cool. That's really all we know, and some of that information was in the monthly bulletin, so I don't really think any of it's really new. Based on what we've seen now of Celeste, what teams are you guys thinking about taking?
Well, since she's going to be light or lightning, definitely her, Hayo, probably, I'm not sure who else to bring, to be honest. Melissa, probably, since she has Human Killer, right?
She's got Beast and Human Killer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely her. Then the other three, I have no clue right now.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Sketch? Who are you thinking about?
So it depends on what my goal is, right? Like if we go back to rank 1 where I need to hit the EX stars on it, right? I'm probably going to try the water stuff that I've got recently, a couple pieces of it, and then use things like Hayo, Melissa. If we need a tank, Elena, stuff like that, just super easy. They're saying in chat, Rick and Noctis, if I can get the light stuff together, I might, if I pick up Stern stuff, my Noctis is EX2, my Rick is EX3, we could probably piece something together very easily. It just depends on what kind of tank that we end up using.
Yeah.
Because I know what it says up there, but there's been a couple times where I'm I don't need a magic tank. They didn't. Nope, they were wrong. So I feel there's a bunch of different things that you can do. But I think the most popular one is gonna be what they're saying in chat, and honestly now they're talking about probably what I'm gonna end up doing is just going to end up using Rick and Noctis left and seeing what light stuff I can get going. My Hio should be EX3 before this clash ends, so I could slot Hio in there as well. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. What about you, Yin Yang?
Well, let's see. Booker is recommending water as he drinks it.
Booker's the dog, in case you guys need to know. Booker is, definitely a good companion.
Yeah. He's much cuter than Cow.
Aww.
I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen pictures. It's true. I mean, it's for me, it depends. If water is just a sub-weakness, and it may very well be a sub-weakness based on what they said, and I'll talk about that in just a second. If water is a sub-weakness, I may have to swap my team and do more of a light team. But the good news is, I mean, I've got a lot of light options at this point. So, I was doing a... before I do that, Kimochi, yes, we do have multiple sources of 100% AoE light amp now. We have one in Murray. We also have one in Addison Ray. And we have the new unit, Celeste, is going to be able to do it as well. If I was going to go water, I would do Chow, Melissa, I was going to use Ayabrea, Kaito, and then Elena for a tank. But it just kind of depends. You know, it depends on what we're going to do. But so if we're going to go light, obviously we can switch over to like Richt, A2, 2B, with their machine killers and stuff like that, and their big 150% amps. So
you could bring Abigail for
a tank. Yep, for sure.
She has some light support in her kit.
Yep. So lots of options. Why does this matter, right? So one thing that they said, and you'll notice that it does not say, or on the boss's picture, it says Clash of Wills, Centaur of Unknown Origin. It does not say Clash of Wills, Another. And they said that this month they are rolling back to original Clash of Wills. There's not going to be focus, bonus time, or anything like that. And I feel like that is a big issue. And before I share why I think it's a big issue, I want you guys to kind of share first. What do you think? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Is it no thing? What do you guys think?
Is it a dangerous precedent?
I think it's a dangerous precedent, and when I share my piece, I'll say why I think it's a dangerous precedent. Do you think it's a dangerous precedent? Possibly. Okay. What do you think, Cloud?
Yeah, I feel like it's a bad idea, because they spent all that time and resources for Clash of Wills and others with Mirai. Then that went south. Then it kept on going further south and south with the bosses, like design, the attacks being so basic that Clash became less fun, So, but I believe since it's going back to normal, it may be harder. The boss may hit like a truck, and hopefully it's harder again, But we'll see.
Well, and this is something I hadn't even thought about. Nami Nom Nom says they should have found a way to have the Vertex bar in the fight without the whole chance time and mania mode. That means that some units won't have access to their Vertex abilities at all. So like Ong's was part of what made Ong good was that his Vertex ability stacked with everything else. So now we just don't have that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that means they may not even be used, because I don't know, but we'll see,
Yeah. What do you think, Sketch?
Well, go with this point. Makes me laugh. It's true. But alright, we're gonna play Devil's Advocate.
Okay.
I think the change is very good. I think the revert's really good. Yes, it sucks they wasted a lot of time on this. However, something's very important to point out is they didn't say it's permanently going back, which means they're likely still working on it, and I would rather have a finished product that is better than what we have right now than is bring whatever units you want because the fight is too easy, because you just need to live long enough to make it to chance time, and then you obliterate the boss because it loses all of its stats. Those are not very fun things. It makes every fight the exact same thing. There's no mechanic, and we're just here. Yeah. So I am glad that we were going back. I hope this means we can have harder fights, and yes, harder fights means more content because adding on all the difficulty stuff, some of the classical fights are actually very hard. So like I'm okay with them rolling it back, especially with them not saying it's a permanent rollback. So we will see what they do, but I am looking forward to harder fights where you actually have to figure out how to play the game instead of us assuming the exact same thing where everything was way too easy. Also, a thing about reverting Clash back is we didn't end up down the road of you have to pull for these specific units because you needed the Vortex ability so bad, and because that system is gone, it's going to make Clash more accessible for people again instead of you just being limited to like bulk units, which is also one of the best parts of Clash of Wills to me. It's that you can bring a lot of things that you want that aren't like you have to have all of these very specific things. And the end of Clash of Wills A or whatever, like where we were at last time, where it was you have to have these specific things, and you had like one spot where you could maybe bring something you want, and then everything else was close to lock if you were wanting to like one. Yeah. So I think it's kind of interesting that we will see where Clash of Wills lands, but I look forward to it actually just being back like this.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right. I think that, and so is everybody else. I mean, they did say Clash of Wills Another was beta. They did not say this is a permanent change to go back. And I do think I think what all of you are saying kind of points towards kind of my general opinion. So yes, I feel like it's been a really big misuse of resources, which has probably contributed to us having less to do in the game. And I also think that rolling it back makes it more accessible, which has been a huge thing for me for a long time, that Clash of Wills has always felt really inaccessible for the average player. Clash of Wills Another made it even worse. So this going back makes it does take it back to like where maybe typical people can play. And I'm excited about that. I think that's really good. Like I just mentioned a second ago, though, this does mean that some units don't have access to skills that are part of their kit. That's a big deal. It also means that people who pulled for units that were probably going to have the Focus Plus abilities, if they actively pulled for those units because they knew they had to get ready for Clash of Wills this month, now it's like, well, why did I bother? So like I'm gonna give just to use as an example, like Metza. Anybody who pulled for Metza because Metza was going to be a focus unit last month, and then the month after that, and then potentially this month, too bad. Now it's not. Now Metza is not, and so it kind of tricked people or pulled people into pulling for non-Clash of Wills units, and then they just pulled the rug out from underneath them. And I feel like that was the same thing when they started it in the first place. They told us too late that this was coming, and here's what it was going to look like. So then people had to scramble to try and put a team together. And then that first month was really, really ridiculous. And then they just yanked it back and said, no, and now basically everybody's a focus unit. You just have to have more than one. And now here we are. So I feel like it's just been a really tumultuous, up and down, roller coaster ride of Clash of Wills for the past 3-4 months. And it's to me kind of sad to see it land where it is, where we're just kind of where we were. But like Sketch said, this does mean that we're not just going to get to turn 4 and then hit the boss for 36 billion damage again, which is just kind of like what we've done. People have been doing those kind of clears for the last 3 months, and I think that's not fun. I think that's bad. I am kind of excited to let's get to turn 10, because that's kind of my style. I like to make things as complicated as possible and then get to turn 10. So that's kind of fun. We'll have to see how it goes. It's the first boss of the season. It could be all kinds of things. But there's
it's a cupcake.
Cupcake.
Yep, he's a big cupcake.
There's our takes, guys. So chat, thank you for putting in your feedback on that too. I am reading it. It's good feedback. So speaking of Clash of Wills, new Clash of Wills gears coming out: the High Celestite Crown of Will, Attack and Magic 25, Defense and Spirit 100, and it boosts Fire, Ice, Lightning, Water, Wind, Earth, Light, and Dark resistance by 15%, fills morale every turn, and also boosts HP and HP percent, and restores HP per turn, and one use every 5 turns, restores HP and revives, and fully restores all allies, automatically revive allies 1 time. So there's a ton of stuff on this helmet. I think this is pretty cool, but this isn't the only one they showed us. They also showed us a robe, similar, Attack and Magic 45, Defense and Spirit 80, nullifies Silence Confusion, fills morale, and then does some bonus stats and one Gilded Purification, 1 use every 5 turns, remove some negative status effects and remove some status effects from all allies. Kind of neat, but that's also not the last one. And we're going to talk about each one, so just hold your horses. The Bracer is all stats plus 40, a bunch of water, earth, and wind resistance, builds morale, and increase the duration of certain positive status effects for 1 ally. So some folks in chat are kind of saying they made the pendant from last season and that's about it. I haven't made anything from the last Clash of Wills set. Did you guys make anything?
No, I haven't.
I have not.
Nope. Okay. So we're getting 3 more items on top of that then. So of these, do any of you have a favorite?
Robe, not close. That item's sick.
All right, Sketch
has
likes
so
the
much
robe.
stats on it for 1 piece of gear. It even has MP on it.
Mm-hmm. It does 100%
Yeah, I like the robe.
MP.
Definitely I'm leaning on the helmet a bit.
All right.
It'll be a nice tank item.
Now I wonder, is that a helmet or is that a hat?
It'll more likely be a helmet.
Hmm.
It's called the crown, after all. In our last
crown was a helmet, yeah.
Yep.
Sart likes the idea of the
think
perfect
it would-
spell, if it's a perfect party to spell, yeah.
Ooh, perfect party to spell it sick.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So Marty, yeah, they did say that the bracer, they did say something about LB damage. I was taking screenshots, and so I didn't capture it, exactly what they said, but they did say something about LB buffs being able to be increased. I think that's what they were talking about.
Yeah, I think they said that. They said something about the duration of the LB buffs, kind of probably like the Titus's armor or the Titus's armor and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. I will say though that what I like about this bracer is that that's a unique effect. Like there's not really anything in the game that increases positive duration stuff, is there?
Side of Kaito.
No, Kaito decreases,
One map,
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He also
This
has an
increases.
increase. No, Kaito also has an increase one.
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. Never mind. I was wrong. It's not unique, but it's still cool because you're not always going to bring Kaito.
It could be unique because we can make this really broken really fast. If that lets you extend your amplified by a turn, that is the best piece of gear in the game.
I could see that.
Like if you get like you have like the 2-turn 150% amp, if that becomes a 3-turn 150% amp,
Mm-hmm.
it is literally the best item in the game.
Right.
It's probably not going to do that, but like, oof.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So Nami Nam says Kaito and Ellis Bears increase debuff durations, but this says increases duration of certain positive status effects. So does Kaito have one that increases positive effects?
Mm-hmm.
No, I made a mistake.
He does not.
Yeah, this is his are increase detrimental.
Detrimental,
effects
yes.
On enemies.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that can do this. I could be wrong, but I don't think there is.
I don't think there is. Now that I think about it, I think Kaito was the first unit to introduce the mechanic.
Mhm.
Only his is on the enemy side.
Yeah, this is positive stuff for the allies. So I think the bracer's pretty cool. I think the robe's pretty cool. I think the helmet is probably the least exciting because sometimes having revive automatically on the party sucks.
Oh yeah, I just hope with a bracer if you can use it more than once. You know, like
Well-
it'll be on a cooldown or not a Grandis or whatever.
The bracer is 1 use per battle.
Ah, okay, I did not see that.
Yep, that's 1 use per battle. So you're gonna hit this, 2 turns before your burst turn, probably.
I wonder if it works for amps and all that too. You know how some amps are only like 2 turns.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it would work for that or just LB?
Yeah, we'll need to see the full information on that. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, new gear. Maybe it'll be worth building. I'm curious to see how it's going to go. We'll see. But those are definitely some interesting items. As far as you were going to say something?
Chat just made something that like made me think of something.
Go ahead.
So LB buffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
MB Plus have those ginormous LB buffs
They do.
that are 1 turn.
500.
That's another thing. That's just
500
like,
plus.
oh man, you get 2 turns of 500 LB plus. You're gonna nuke something more of it too.
That could be
Sorry.
good. And especially with the way, what's it called? The JP units have their amplifiers changed to where you can just have 100% for 3 turns. That sadly that change did not come to global units like Sylvie. But that means you could potentially set up for like multiple burst turns that were really big. So. All right, as far as new content that's coming to the game, that's what they showed us. And then I think this is kind of funny. They showed us stuff that we already know. So they spent some time talking about, continue to log in. We've already been doing this for 10 days. Continue to log in until June once a week and get your weekly free summon. I've been enjoying my weekly free summons. Have you guys?
I guess it's a free Neo Vision. Haven't got anything I needed yet though, but
okay.
Here's hoping.
Here's hoping. My first one was phenomenal. I got my EX3 Solitary Warrior Veritas of the Frost.
I
think I got my first copy of Angeal through the weekly summon.
There you go. There you go. Not bad.
I was checking my notes because I keep up of where I pull everything.
Yeah.
I had two good ones. I got the Neo Visions Plus Laswell from one.
Okay.
Cool. But what's more exciting, won't be for anybody else, but like what's more exciting is I got my first copy of Void Mage Roka on the second one.
Okay. So yeah.
First one.
You're doing great then. You're doing
I
great.
was pretty excited about the Void Mage Roka because I just I wanted all the dark units. So
Nami Nom Noms, you bring up a very good point. If it does increase the duration of mod boost, then that could be very, 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 very good. Good point. So the next thing they showed us was a login campaign. Put your hands up login bonus. There where you're going to get Celeste fragments and some other stuff. And then the Esper of Hope login bonus is still going on, where you can get Lapis Replica. That's going on until May 1st. The other one goes on from 18th to the 24th of April. Pretty generic stuff there. And then what I think was probably the biggest news of the entire stream was that Xenogears is coming starting on 4/25. So is of the three of you, are any of you actually excited about a Xenogears collab?
Yeah, I kind of am. Yeah, because I have a Graph who's has EX3, so if we get his NV plus A, I'll be happy,
Okay, there you go.
Same here. I'd be happy to get NV plus A for my Graph as well.
Yeah.
I also have every Xenogears collab unit that has released so far.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I have most of them. I have Graph, Ed. I think I have all the NVs too, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So Ellie, Citan, and MVA Faye.
Yeah.
Were the other ones.
Yeah, Xenogears is one that I have not gotten very lucky on. I do have Graph. I have one copy of Graph and like one copy of id. And that's about it.
Sadly, id has not gotten any of his upgrades, and he really needs them to be simple in any way.
Yeah.
Even though he's been power crept like crazy. But we'll gain some some interesting units for sure for everyone. So we'll be
yes, this collab
new version.
This collab should be Marie and Faye, correct?
I think not Bart or I forget who else.
So the first band will be Maria.
That's right.
The light Neovision plus DPS unit that goes alongside Stern. And we'll also have who is a Neovision, who I believe is primarily a light attacker as well. And then the second banner will be getting Neovision plus A and Merelda.
Okay. Somebody is saying Wiesel is saying Bart as well.
So a dark.
Yes. Emeralda and Faye. Perfect.
Yeah. So Maria, and Maria and Emeralda and Faye. And of course, all of them will be brave shifting into their gears.
Cool. Excellent. I'm really weird, and I've never played Xenogears, so like I don't have like a lot of love for the franchise. I just think the units look cool.
Yeah, they do look cool, especially in their mechs.
Yeah.
It's an interesting game, and I played considered the spiritual successor of Xenogears, Xenosaga.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it so, and by Xenoblade, that's another Xenosaga.
Okay. Cool deal. They did say they couldn't tell us anything about it. They just said it's coming, and that's all I can say. So hopefully that's exciting. I'm curious, and somebody brought this up in chat. Like, I wonder if they're gonna do another live stream about it, or if they're going to just like drop the news like normal.
I feel they should do a live stream about it. It would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is collab. Usually Hiroki appears for collab.
Right.
It would be nice to have him show up.
That would be cool.
So
yeah,
I will kind of fight back on that. Was Hiroki there for when they did that small announcement about the Mana collab?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they could, unless it's like a major, like huge collab that's like a global exclusive one. I don't think there's going to be a stream for it. I think this is just going to be just like the Mana collab,
Mm-hmm.
where the units are going to have next to zero changes from JP.
Yeah.
And it's just like a part of like a content thing.
Well,
but,
and,
like,
and
some of
now
these
since
units
we're
are
not
really
getting we're not getting Clash of Wills and these units will not even get Focus Plus.
Yes, correct.
Screw your global upgrade Focus Plus.
It's likely we're getting zero upgrade, so it would be really, really, really cool if Ilmarado got an upgrade, because she is not very good.
Yeah.
Most of them are very good. She is not very good. Her kit is a mess. It would be really cool if they changed some things to make her good, but I'm pretty sure this is just going to be handled exactly like Mana. We're going to get next to zero changes, which is fine for the most part, unless you like Emeralda in part, because they're just not very good.
Yeah.
If you want Maria and Faye, Maria's going to be a meta level, another light unit, right? Another light unit to add on to the classical stuff. And then Faye is going to be the best DPS in the game, unless they decide to drop another global exclusive. Like, there's a chance. Like, the unit today is
the
just
next
like
global exclusive Dark Neovision Plus, one that's gonna be better than Dark Fina. Sorry, Sketch.
I mean, it's true. I mean, I'm just gonna run them both on the same team. Like, I pull for Fina knowing that she just goes on Faye's team, and we probably have to pull for Jack too, and I'm not excited for that, but like, whatever.
Yeah. Good question from Sark is, are they going to bring the Vision World that is supposed to come with it? That would be super nice if they did.
I think these guys are going to get buffed, because why share the slide if they're not going to buff the units to Clash of Wills, I'm sure they're going to get the Clash of Will tags, to be honest. It's the least you need for us.
Correct, Mana did not. They did get Focus Plus abilities, but they didn't get anything for Clash of Wills.
Yeah, I wish they got buffed, But
yeah, the last collab units to get Clash of Wills buff were the
wasn't it a Dragon Quest?
Was it Dragon Quest?
It was Dragon Quest. Well, Sinzar's here. I guess we can get started. So after they talked about Xenogears very, very briefly, they played some games. They said it was going to be a chat with the community section, and they played some games and did not really chat with the community. It is what it is. The games were games. And then they said that because we won the games, we all get 500 Lapis, a ticket, some pearls, some energy, and a gold key. Super exciting, right? And that's pretty much it. So by the time we were 40 minutes, actually it was 38 minutes into the stream, we were done. And when I looked, there were about 400 people watching, which is, I think kind of sad compared to how big they've usually been. Yeah, that was it. I mean, it was 30 minutes, 38 minutes. And then it was just like, see ya, and they left. They didn't even like show the title card and play the music for a while that like they usually do. It just like they shut it off. So yeah.
Yeah, that was so sad, you know. I'm trying to be positive here, but that was so heart-wrenching, you know.
It was.
Feel-
Does anyone feel bad
feel
for
like they
Justin?
were
I can't remember his name, having to spew out the script and not be allowed to respond to anything in the chat. I mean, I think that the chat was really, really brutal. And I said this earlier, that I feel like the average person in chat was just like blasting, where's the content? Why isn't the game ending? Stop cutting content. It was just like on and on and on and on and on. And thankfully that has not been happening here. I want to thank you guys for being positive and hanging out with us. But I think that probably did have something to do with them just like ending it really abruptly.
Yeah, I think so too, because it was getting way too much, and they probably didn't have all the answers for us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They do sadly have their hands tied in these situations because they're given pre-approved prep for every live stream, and like most of these kinds of scripts would have some like cliff notes of what you could divulge into or go off script about.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, like they'll just stick to the script and as their safety net ultimately.
Sinzar, you're absolutely right. The person who can approve them to like address issues needs to approve them to address issues, because not only is it just like a very clear representation of like how irritated people are, but it's just like they told us that they were going to address issues and they didn't. Like they said the last time Hiroki was on, we know there's problems. We're not going to do this. We're going to be looking at it. Nothing has changed. In fact, things have gone worse. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree with you, Gert.
I feel the main problem with this is that we got a promise from Hiroki to have these issues addressed, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Do it.
I feel like whoever is above Hiroki, maybe Square Enix themselves, or at least a higher director than Hiroki, just basically told them, you shot yourself in the foot, but we're not going to tell them what's going on.
Yeah.
You made a false promise that you shouldn't have on screen.
Well, I mean, I do think that they should promise low and deliver high. I think that is just good customer service in general. But like, I do think that like, as community oriented as this game is and has been for the entire duration of the game, like for them to not say anything, which is kind of par for the course, right? For them to not say anything, but instead tell us things like we're watching cherry blossoms, is just like, it's just like I said before, it just feels like it's poor timing, It's you're not reading the room.
For sure.
You're not even looking at the chat unless we're telling you that Tony's video froze.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Or reading the answers for the quiz when it's clear like nobody wants to do the quiz. They want answers why content's missing, or why it's at least being delayed or cut. And like, I want to play devil's advocate again. Like, maybe one of the reasons all this content is being cut or hopefully delayed is because crystal ball of future JP schedule. Like, we got a lot of Japanese collabs coming up, and I don't think or know we'll even get all of these collabs. Like, the Romancing Saga, a Frontier collab.
It would be cool to know
and-
what the next few months are going to bring instead of just what the next 2 weeks are going to bring.
Exactly, and like another Dragon Quest collab down the line, as well. And I know everybody gets very tired of Dragon Quest sometimes.
So like huge tin hat theory here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen anybody mention in chat. I think there's an offsuit shot that they're just trying to catch us up to Japan. Like, one way to save money when designing and working on a game is to have all your versions like realistically close to each other. I don't think we'll 100% catch up to JP, but if you told me their goal was to get us like 2 months behind them, I'd believe you. And that would make all of their workloads way easier, right? Yes, that involves skipping a lot of stuff, and that's just how it is. We've skipped a couple of things, right? However, I feel like there's a decent chance, especially now that JP has hit like power creep and stuff like that people are very aware of, that they may be rushing us along, and or just skipping a lot in general, right? To like possibly catch us up. I know that would like possibly mean that we were getting even more content to like fast, but like not exactly if their goal is to just save as much money as possible, right? So like our side may suffer a lot, like a decent bit, like in the meantime, if they decide that, like maybe this is something that happened like recently, like beginning of the year or whatever. We're gonna get a lot of mobile game decisions at the beginning of the year, right? So like I'm curious. Yeah, they sped it, like they said in chat, they sped it. Well, they're basically a month behind now. Yes, like I think that's actually a good way to try to save things and stay current. They're cutting things out. Yeah, like the thing is, like Ian said, like with the collabs, I don't think we're getting half those either. Like if we get Saga, it's gonna blow my mind. I mean, I'm pulling, but like if we get Saga, it's gonna blow my mind. So like they either have to come up with a bunch of global exclusive content, or we're gonna have a bunch of dead weeks, which I honestly don't think is going to happen as many dead weeks as you would actually need to make up for those collabs. So there's several collabs in a row. So they could just be
that we have collabs we missed that we could get in their place instead. Like we could.
Yeah.
When
like,
we got
I mean,
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh yeah, I was hoping for the Full Metal Alchemist collab, and yet it was delayed. You know, like why delay them? They could have made them NVA plus units. You know, but
well,
no.
That's probably the thing. Like maybe Olivier, Kimberly, Scar, and yeah, I think those were the only units. Maybe all of them are getting remodeled kits into the NV Plus era, and just like when we got the reworked unit for Full Metal Alchemist, we got the global exclusive at the time, King Bradley, so you never know, we might get a global exclusive FMA unit.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah, that would be cool.
Here for all the waifu lovers, we're getting global exclusive NV Plus Lust.
I don't know what that means because I'm also weird and haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist. So sorry, I'm old and I'm weird. You know, it is what it is. Timothy, I'm right there with you. We're old guys together, okay?
What I really wish we got though is a Final Fantasy 14 units, you know, but they were free units too, and I don't know why we passed over them.
I don't know. But yeah, unless there's anything else that you guys have that are just like burning issues that you feel like you need to bring up, I think we've done it. I mean, we've definitely talked twice as long as they have, and we've definitely done our thing. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, my end, except just having a good laugh with the cat.
Yeah. I think so. This is our second time doing Beige Carpet live. I am loving it. I am loving having you guys all here chatting. Honestly, like interacting with folks is why I got into streaming in the first place. So like being able to like chat with this many people at once and talk about something we care about has been a dream. And so having these live streams here on YouTube has been a lot of fun, and I'm really thankful to everybody who's able to be here in the chat, as well as you guys who are taking, some time out of your day to hang out with me for a couple hours here on stream. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody involved, yeah, you guys make this work. You guys make this happen.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. It was great being here. It was great talking with the chat, especially Emmy, Sinzar, and everybody else who was talking with us,
I just want more opportunities to say nommy nom noms in my day, like that's what I need in my life. I'm glad that you unironically enjoy this live stream,
Oh yeah, it was fun talking positive about the game that we all enjoy,
You do, sure. You do, and I think the fact that we do enjoy it is why so many of us are frustrated by the live stream and what the experience has been for the past few months. Because I do care. Yeah. Like my give a rip is still working. It is tricky when there's not anything to give a rip about.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong there. I agree. It's just so bare bones now.
Mm-hmm.
I just really wish. Yeah. I really hope Sketch in the end is right. Hopefully, we're just catching up to JP, so we can get content again.
That would be nice.
Yeah, and
I really hope so.
I hope so too. And I've always said this about Global. Well, I feel honestly it could go further than JP if done right. It's hard to see that right now, but a lot of the global exclusive content we've had, whether it was the Precursors, the Crystal Warriors, or even just some of these global original units we've had from holidays, we've invested ourselves into these characters that we've gotten, and we all want to learn more about the characters. We all originally came for the love of Final Fantasy, but we all stayed for the original characters that make the world of Lapis, Palladia, and everything we've encountered in the world of Brave Exvius.
Yep, absolutely.
So, Gert,
yes.
One last thing, because it's funny from the chat.
Okay.
They were asking how it was longer than the stream, and the answer to that is because people ask for more content. So this is Sinzar's recaps of the content you have now.
here's your content, right? Here's your content. And speaking of content, so upcoming stuff. Tuesday is Tuesday Preppers, and Tuesday Preppers before Clash of Wills is always a really big one. So if you're interested in live chat, definitely come out to Twitch, where I do my big Tuesday Preppers stream, where we put together all the units that you might be able to use to work on this upcoming Clash of Wills. And it's a lot of fun. We usually have a good time, and I get to say everybody's name who contributed to the discussion in my video. So come out on Twitch and watch that on Tuesday. And if you're interested in bike rides, I've been going on bike rides and recording them. So if you're interested in that, definitely check those new bike ride streams out. I think they're a lot of fun. Yeah, if you're not sure where to find me, you can check in my links page on my profile on YouTube, and you can definitely find my Twitch stream there. But I've got the same name over there. So yeah. All right, that's it, guys. I appreciate you all for being here in the chat, and again in the stream as well. Good night, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and let us go. And you guys have a great week. And we'll see you on Tuesday, okay?
Woo! Have a good night, everybody.